apologies. Obviously, right now you can see I've got some technical difficulties. My internet is moving crazy. That's why we had a little delay, but we're here. Champions League final, 1 game away from history. Time to make some history, fellas. Obviously, we got Dio on the panel, we got CORYY on the panel, we got KP on the panel. Obviously, got my brother Catch in the building. Had to talk about this game, man, fellas, man. 1 game away from history. I don't know if you guys were around when we were in our last Champions League final in 2006, but that one hurts, man. That one.
Brother, I was still wearing diapers sometimes, man.
Yeah, that's a sore topic, isn't it? So.
Bro, I remember that one still. I'm not gonna lie. That had man. I was of the ages where crime was acceptable. So yeah,
I was tearing up, man. I remember that was on, and I don't know if you're in the UK. That was on ITV when Champions used to be on ITV and that, fam. I remember that was pain.
In fact, it was actually one of my worst nights. I remember like I had just left England. I traveled back to Nigeria at the time. I watched it at a place called News Cafe. It was one like this new bar that just opened up. After we lost, my friends and I just sat there and just drank ourselves to stupor. That night, I fought with the security guard at the mall. Like, that's how angry I was. I got into a fight with the security guard. I was like, just anybody could get it that night for me. Everybody and anybody.
Wait, Dio, and that's why, I stay in my house in these situations. I know I'm a man, You see, if a rival fan sees me in my top and I'm going home and I'm all
self-aware.
Bro, it's activation.
I mean, now I think
what Champions League final when you're mocking me?
No. Now I think I can actually handle it this time around, regardless of because we won the Premier League. So even if anything negative happens, I'm like, you know what, fair is fair. And if we win it, my excitement level goes double. I'm glad that this Champions League is not something that we're trying to save our season with. This is not like we've lost all the other trophies, and finally, if we don't get this, it's the end. So I'm calm. And I think the boys are calm just from the videos I've seen, the interviews. You can tell that there's a weight off their shoulder, like So
yeah, and man. Also that 06 finally.
I swear, Odegaard had an interview. I see it, and he said, "Yeah, it feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders or something." Him or Declan Rice.
They've all been saying it still, and I feel like that 06 final. I think what burns more because I can remember it so vividly. I was only like 7, I think 6 or 7, something like that. But it was the fact that we went down to 10 man. We still had a lot of chances. Henry had a couple of chances that he should have scored in that game. Like for 80 minutes, we were the better team, and then Barcelona turned up, and at that time, obviously they were the best team. And it was mad because we had won everything, done the Invincible Cup, had a little era, won FA Cup the season before. It was like that. This was like the final kind of trophy for that group of players, isn't it? But hey, man, sometimes these things need to happen. I think we're gonna win on Saturday still.
Yeah,
just say that.
I think styles make fights, man, for this Champions League, and I'm big on stats and data. Like I try to weigh things and try and find for me what's the who stands a better chance. I still think that PSG have a 51% chance and we have 49% chance, right? Based on what I've looked at. But there's just one thing that I noticed between PSG from last year and this year. I think last year, on their way to the final, PSG scored 38 games and they scored 38 goals and they conceded 15 goals with Donnarumma in goal. This year, they've changed their goalkeeper and they're still as strong as they were. But this year, they scored 44 goals on the way to the final and conceded 22. So they're conceding more this year in the Champions League. For me, we scored 23 goals, if I'm not mistaken, and conceded only 6. Like, we don't concede.
And I think 2 of those were only in the knockouts as well.
Yeah, 2 of those were only in the knockouts. And that's when Kepa was in goal. The two goals were the 3-2. In fact, out of the 6, 2 of those goals were in the league phase in the last game. The dead rubber game where
where you kind of qualified already.
Yeah, we had only qualified. They played 3-2. Like, if we hadn't considered those 2 goals, we'd have considered 4 goals in total on the way to the final, playing 14 games. So for me, those are the things I look at, the fine margins, where it's like, even last season, I think people forget that we didn't play PSG with Thomas Partey in one game, and we didn't play with Gabriel in the other.
Yeah.
There's no context to, you guys lost 2-1, 3-1 to PSG. But I'm like, some of our better players were not on the pitch. So hopefully
not even just that. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't go back and rewatch that game because of the pain. But like Arsenal didn't play that bad in both legs. Like after the first 10 minutes,
we did, bro.
we played very.
both
Like,
legs.
I think if I'm correct, yeah, fact check in the chat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Donnarumma got man of the match in both games.
Yeah, bro, Donnarumma went mental.
And obviously Arsenal,
he had one of them games. Remember when we played Manchester United and De Gea was in goal and Sanchez?
yeah, and that Lacazette was missing.
14
saves,
saves, bro.
And obviously Donnarumma had a season like that, innit? He's a world-class keeper, but it's one of them ones where I think people kind of forget, and obviously people ridiculed Arteta when he was like, oh, the better team lost, and obviously I guess you can look into those comments, but he like I remember the second leg, like Lewis Skelly in the first leg, sorry, dominating through the midfield, owning it. Martinelli had a couple of chances in the second leg. Odegaard had a chance, Donnarumma saved. Saka had that chance over the bar. We had, I think it was a set piece goal that was ruled out. Like, there's a lot of advantages that we have over PSG, physically, anyways. That I think they won't be able to handle. The game against us last season was close. The game against Villa also last season in the quarterfinals was very close as well. People forget about that because the Premier League style and the physicality kind of, they don't have that on a game-to-game basis in the French league.
I was just about to say, I feel like the way that we win this game, you got to bully these man.
Yeah, we got to go prime. Yes, I want to see long balls, ball up to the top, drop down. I want to see set pieces. I want to see long throws.
We cannot play like the PSG.
We can play their game, but I think
no. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it like we cannot like play the game to like the way.
Yeah, we shouldn't. We can't let them dictate the game. We have to dictate the game to how we want to go. And I think we have tools that probably no other team in Europe have, like that at the disposal at the quality that we have. We also have the best defense in Europe, which we actually point about.
Yeah, I know a lot of people say that we have the best defense, but I personally, I think Arsenal is just a team in general that knows how to defend. We don't actually have the best defense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I think we're the best defensive team, innit? Like, I don't like,
because if you listen to Diego Simeone after we played Atletico Madrid, he had an interview. I like going to watch those type of interviews where they translate it and I go and search and find. I literally follow those guys because they are in the game. They are professionals. They've been coaches for years. This is somebody who people respect. When they give their opinion about a team, right? And this is like off camera to like a reporter, or even when they just talk to other people and there's video clips of that, they're telling the truth. Diego Simeone says Arsenal is the most balanced team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
remember when he said that. Yeah,
he said that he has played against, at least in the last 2 seasons, he says the most balanced, not the best, not the, he's like, this is a team that is so balanced in every phase of the game and across the pitch that it is very, very difficult to actually break them down. I think people forget that before we conceded 3 goals to Manchester United this season, the last time we conceded 3 goals was in 2023.
Yeah, I was about to say that was the record where like we hadn't conceded 3 goals for like almost 3 years.
2023. So I think we have what it takes. Like I said, I think they have a 51% chance. We have a 49% chance. But we go into this game, if we can keep Rice as our free man in the middle there to be able to screen and block those shots and press Vitinha. If we don't allow them, because the one place where I see PSG very, very weak is they're strong on the pitch. If they're coming, their fullbacks are strong. They're very good. Mendes, Hakimi, their midfield is very, very solid.
Is Hakimi fit though?
No, I'm just saying generally.
I've seen like reports where it's like I've seen like both sides of it. Where I've seen one saying like he's out, and I've seen other ones where it's like
let's just assume they have all their best players on the pitch. Let's assume they have all their best players on the pitch, right? The way to stop a full-on PSG team that is the best after watching them, I've watched them so many times the last few days, is whenever they are recycling the ball, whenever they don't have a chance to break the lines, right? Where Hakimi is trying to go, but he can't go, and then Kvaratskhelia is coming and he's expecting maybe like Mosquera to bite, and Mosquera doesn't bite. Mosquera actually pulls back and keeps the 4-back line, and then they have to recycle with Vitinha. In that time where they're passing the ball back to Vitinha, if Rice presses him, that's when they're changing shape. That's when Hakimi is dropping back, Mendes is dropping back, and if you press that player. And Vitinha is very press resistant. I liked it. I honestly feel like Vitinha is very press resistant. But then guess what? He's dropping back and he's playing backwards to his own keeper. Now we can press them. Odegaard or somebody lead the press immediately. Gyökeres, press forward. Again, if we keep them in their half, we stand a better chance of getting more corner kicks, more set pieces, and probably even scoring an open play goal. And then we just bully them from then on.
I think for me, you see, like when men are talking about like set pieces and that, Like, I think that's one thing. Like, as much as people like try and clown it, I think that's one part of the game that we need to like try and make sure that we exert our dominance on. Because if you look at the size of our team, pause. Like, you've got Gabriel, you got Saliba, you're gonna have potentially you got Havertz, Mikel Merino. Whether these guys start or not, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Calafiori, Hincapié. All these players are 6 foot plus. Do you get what I'm saying to you? All of them are 6 foot plus. If you look at PSG's team, how many of those players would you say are like physically imposing at set pieces? Probably Pacho.
Probably the only,
no,
he's the only one. So.
No, but I'm looking at it. Hold on. I'm looking at it, and they're saying Pacho's out as well.
Hey, look, see, don't buy into.
I ain't seen nothing about Pacho.
That's mind games. That's mind games.
Yeah,
mind
no,
games.
I'm ready.
100%.
That's like a mind game thing.
Hey, but SB Marquinhos he's not even a tall centre back. He's not even like an area.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Those are the people that you think that are going to be physically imposing. You probably say Marquinhos and Pacho, Nuno Mendes, and that's it really. Like, no one else is really like 6 foot plus. So I think that's something that we need to definitely
big advantage.
And
we gotta take advantage of
that. And to take that advantage, we have to be in their half of the pitch, is what I'm saying. Like, we have to make sure that whenever they're recycling the ball is when we press them. Because I've noticed, and they do this thing all the time. They do it whenever Hakimi and Mendes pushes forward. They have like this 5-man player thing where they all push forward, and Vitinha just stays right behind them. Whenever they're not able to progress the ball forward and attack you, they give it back to Vitinha. Those two fullbacks drop back. Or sometimes Hakimi will run into the 9, then Dembele will come down the middle to receive the ball.
Yeah.
Anytime they do that nonsense, if Rice is our free man, press on Vitinha.
And I don't want to see. I don't want to see. Could you see if Dembele plays up top? You know he always drops in. He's like a false 9, and mostly, when you watch Dembele play, he makes the centre back kind of follow him out. I don't want to see none of that.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll see it unless like only at times maybe when they're playing out from the back from the goal kick when you have to man at times. I think if it's in open space and like settle possession, I think Arsenal are probably smart enough to know if they can't press or they beat in the first phase of the press, we'll drop quickly into that mid block and try and nullify them. I think Gabriel and Saliba.
I've seen us do it as well, bro. When we played them.
No. I'm saying, but that's probably from a goal.
Gabriel was running out, and
that's probably from a goal kick.
That's what he wants.
I'm saying from a goal kick position is a bit different, isn't it? Because if you're going man to man, you're trying to nullify them having an easy play out. Obviously, it depends on the context. But obviously, if it's in settled play and Dembele is dropping into DM or something, I don't think they're going to be following him.
You got to realize that we made those mistakes last time, and I'm sure they've watched that footage over and over and over again. Like us as fans saying we don't want to see it. These guys have a whole backroom staff. There's analysts sitting there saying, "Hey, have you realized that last time you played, you were here? Did you see what you did here? Where you made?" And Saka, look at this. Every time you cut in, you had a chance to take a shot. You didn't shoot. This time around, take more shots. And you know what makes it different as well? This time around, they're going in free, confident, great, and Mikel included. Like, I think it's a bit different. Like at this point last season, this was our only hope. Like the Premier League season was done. We're out of all the cups. We had an injury with the season. There was almost so much pressure on the game. Even though we just came from the back of smoking Real Madrid. But we did have Merino up top, who I do rate a lot. But that was the only option. We did have Kivior playing, no Gabriel. We didn't have Partey, as you mentioned. Lewis Skelly was still his first season as much. He did get caught out in a couple of times. I think the team has matured much from then. We saw the way Saka was calling out, you know who we want at the end of the Atletico game. Like, these guys know what they're seeing. Like, and I think watching all the interviews, these men think and read and hold on to everything. They don't give nothing away during the season. That was the one thing I've seen now.
Hold on, catch for a second. The one thing I've seen the most ever since we won the league from Tuesday onwards, bro. I've been like, wow, because I just thought it was like specifically because I know Rice sees like the odd thing and everything, but bro, I've seen Skelly saying shit. Man, Wake was even saying shit. Eze, bro,
Mikel's been saying stuff.
This is how you know that's what got it for me when Saka was like, oh, they was calling us bottlers. I'm like, oh my, but obviously they're not gonna come out and be like, oh, my man said this. But you see, at the end of the season, and when you list stuff, and especially Arsenal, we get the most slander out of any club. So them players are seeing everything, and the difference with our club, we get slander from rival fans. Plus, you got these idiots that support the club that also slander the club. It's mental. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mainstream media as well, also putting their nonsense pressure as well.
It's all angles, bro. It's from all angles
on it when it's Arsenal.
So that's why I even liked, obviously, when Miles Lewis-Skelly did that whole pure profit caption on his post. Like, that was class in itself, because it's like it feeds into the whole thing, innit? But going back on the final, I think to the only way that we can generate set pieces, I think in that second leg we had a lot of long throws. We had a lot of, especially that first 15 minutes. I don't know if you guys remember. We had like 10 shots. It was mad. Like, we just was.
You had the Rice header. You had the mad save Donnarumma made from Odegaard as well.
This team can be got at. Like I think people only look. Like I think Arsenal have the tools to also pin PSG back, and I don't think
they played their last game against Paris FC, their local rivals, right? And Paris FC beat them 2-1, and they had everybody on the pitch. Dembele was taken out after 25 minutes. That's where the injury came. I went back and I've watched that game multiple times. You cannot mention one player in Paris FC that anybody here knows, but they balled them out the park. They played the PSG first team. Everybody was on the pitch. Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, everybody was on the pitch. Dembele,
but Dio, was the league already won?
No, the league was won. Don't get me wrong, but
they're just playing not to get injured.
No.
They know. Come on, you know a finals round.
No. I think he's probably trying to say is that you can still look at tactical tweaks and ways to get out team.
Tacticality, like, just because the league is won does not mean Dembele is just going to release the ball in the middle of the park. No, I'm saying he doesn't want to get injured. Fair enough, but if you look at the way they set up the same way they normally play, and those guys literally just had them on toast. On the regular, like, so if you're and I get it, you're taking your foot off the gas, but Luis Enrique is not setting you up to say go there and lose the game to your local rivals on your last game of the season.
Yeah, 100%. But for me, I wouldn't read too much into it.
Yeah,
we saw the likes of Chelsea beat them in the Baby Cup final, and when it actually come to when it mattered, you saw the difference.
No, I agree. What I'm saying, that I'm just looking at the tactical. So again, I'm not talking about the intensity of how they played. Intensity is different from tacticality. Like, you can look at, say, all right, why is Nuno Mendes dropping back again this time around? Why is he dropping into the middle? What is it that Luis Enrique is trying to achieve here? This, like what is the reason why because now you don't want to put any intensity, you don't want to hurt yourselves. Maybe this is the way they decided to play. So, the manager is cool, but you can still pick out little things from just watching the team and the way they set up. That's what I'm addressing, not the.
Ryan's saying, they're setting booby traps. Like they're making you think. Yeah, look at them. They're weak. This is how they. I think
the luckiest thing Arsenal have. Yeah, I think two things that give us an advantage, and obviously they're just gone. Obviously, with percentages. I think what gives Arsenal a bigger percentage is that I think the pressure is more on PSG because of them being the holders, because them being the better team. Arsenal never winning it before, and also I think the pressure being off Arsenal and that freedom. This is the first time we're going to see Arsenal because, Palace, it was the first time we saw us playing as champions. It was a very much rotated team. I still think there were some positive things in that Palace game, but different team that we're going to play on Saturday. But I think this is the first time we're going to see this group of players, this manager as champions, playing a game of football of importance and seeing how they go. It doesn't mean I'm not saying that doesn't mean that we're not going to still see some elements of boring football, slow football, or anything, because those things are more tactical. Because Arsenal, I think, like they said, I watch a lot of those European guys, like Guillaume Balaguer, the way he talks about Arteta and the way he talks about Arsenal's team and describes it, and it's like we're a chameleon team. Like, whatever Enrique will try and do, and there will be tactical tweaks these managers will do to try and get one up on each other. I think we have a manager that is able to adapt our team to that. And the luckiest thing is that we have every player fit, including what I saw from, I don't know if you know about Hand of Arsenal on Twitter, talking about Timber's travelled and that he's trained.
We're going to talk about that.
So I'm saying that gives me a lot of confidence going in that obviously Arsenal can play what our game is. Like, I'm not saying I'm not worried about PSG because that is something to worry about, but I'm actually very confident that if we play to our strengths and the magic spark, I think, of having that confidence and joy and belief that you're actually champions now, that this game is nothing's defined in this game. I think it adds a different.
On the back of that, I think like this game would have been had a whole different context if this was the game that our season would have been saved on if we didn't win the league, innit? So the fact that we have won it and we won it a week earlier, I think it gave the boys a chance to actually really celebrate. All right, cool. We've had our time to celebrate the league
and rest.
Now it's like relax, rest. Now actually focus instead of last day drama on the final day where you're going to celebrate it and you're only a few days away from the final. I think us winning it that extra week earlier has obviously prepared us better. And like you're saying, it gives us that sense of relief. We don't have the pressure's not on us to save our season on this one game. It's a chance to make history, to become a legend. It's not to save your season. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So the stakes are a little bit different.
Nah, SB, I hear what you're saying with it. And I actually, like, I fully agree when he says, like, the pressure off. But I feel like it's also going to give them, like, I feel it's going to give all the players, like, I'm not even just talking about the ones that are going to be starting on, though. Just, like, everyone who's on that bench, I feel it's going to give them that natural, more boost of confidence because they're going to be going out there being like, we're champions of England now. We're going up against the team that knocked us out last year. Like, I just feel like when you look at both sides of it, I just feel like that we've got way more drive to win this game compared to PSG do. And I've also bro, because like I've never seen a team that were considered bottlers only 2 years ago to now people over here talking about they're going to win back-to-back UCLs after just winning the first one last year. Like I feel like a lot of people aren't even like looking at that with it, bro.
And man are forgetting not anyone could just retain this Champions League.
I'm saying, bro, like it's not an easy thing to do.
Who else? Real Madrid have done it, I swear, right?
Yeah.
Who else?
I feel like I think you're going like
back you got to go way back to look. That's what I'm saying. So that's another thing people ain't talking about. Like the pressure of going back to back and the pressure on them, all the players. It's good, bro. Everyone's under pressure in this game, I reckon, bro. Like no matter what, it's a Champions League final, win it. Like you're gonna go into the game.
And there's so much.
Both teams have different types of pressure. Like you're right with the going back to back. I think Madrid is the only one that has done it. And if they do it, then they enter those echelons of those conversations where it's like, hey, PSG has also done it back to back, and that for them as a champion is something that because you're the defending champion, you don't want to make a mistake on the pitch and lose your championship to another team because you're the defending champion. That is pressure already. Get it straight. For Arsenal, it's pressure because, hey, if we win this, we become legendary to our club, for our club status. We're winning our first Champions League. We just won the Premier League. This is the pressure that these boys have to face. The good thing is they won the Premier League. That in itself has removed that extra, So for me, I just think that this game could swing either way. It could swing either way. And I think we have what it takes defensively to actually be the team to dominate them. Like, They conceded 22 goals on their way to the final. They scored 44, don't get it wrong, but they conceded 50% of their goals, literally. And it's this, I think their style of all-out attack, and I'm going to outscore you, against the style of more suffocating, more controlling football, where it's like we don't allow people to score against us. We don't let you take shots. And the only difference is they have very clinical players. They have players who are clutch. If we can remove those moments from those players, I think we stand a better chance.
And you know what also is the point? It's like I think the pressure that we have on this game now is like good pressure. Like we want to win. Like even me saying that I think we're gonna win. If we don't win, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you ran a shameful. Like there's like more of a joyful pressure. Like I want to see you, man, go and show your stuff and go and show that you belong at this stage. And nothing more than the manager. Like there's been a couple of interviews he said we're bringing that trophy home on Saturday. Like he's never spoken about the Prem like that even before we won it.
We've seen the clip, bro. We've seen the clip, man. Trust.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. But even on the overlap, one of Gary Neville, he kind of said like we got one on Saturday that we're trying to make sure that we bring home type stuff. But also, I think PSG don't, because PSG's press is insane, isn't it? Obviously, it's not just their tactical.
That press.
But as I said,
all right, cool. On that, Capes, let me ask you, because this was what a question I wanted to ask the panel. So on this topic, how do Arsenal stop PSG? Like, how do we stop them? Because obviously, like you're saying, the press is mad. Obviously, they've got mad attack. They like to drop in. How do we stop them from being effective?
So this is what my opinion is, obviously. So I thank you that you asked that question. I think that most teams that will get pressed against PSG, maybe bar by, don't have other outlets like Arsenal, which is why for me, I know Havertz is going to start in this game. Obviously, sorry to Dej, just to let you man know, innit? Like he all starts. I'm not saying that no one's going to be so angry, but there's a reason why. I think Arsenal need to have that ability to go over that press and be able to play long and play like have someone that can drop it into and then play off that, especially into Eze or Odegaard, and then get the ball to Saka for 1v1s. And I think they don't have. Arsenal can play through them, especially depending on who plays in the midfield. We know Calafiori can receive the ball, but also we can play over them. And I think that also, that thought process is going to be in Enrique's mind, because not many teams PSG play will be able to play over them. A lot of teams can try and play through them, but that's where the press and blocking passing lanes and maybe individual battles come into play. But I think also, if we have our strongest team, I trust every kind of battle on the pitch. I don't think it's only if Timber's not playing, then maybe you can argue. I do trust Mascara defensively, but still,
that's the one you're worried about.
That quality of
But our strongest point is off the ball. This season, it's across Europe. Arsenal is the best team off the ball in the 4-4-2 formation when we're defending. We're literally the best team when it comes to being able to defend, because we showed it in the Champions League. We conceded the least goals. We showed it in the Premier League. We conceded the least goals. We have the least shots against us. We need to play to that strength with PSG. They're good on their press, right? And they can only press us when we have the ball. So why don't we let them have the ball and use our strength where we control the game, make them pass side to side? Like I said, whenever PSG is trying to rotate the ball again, and they like to use Vitinha, go watch all their games. I've seen that rotation. Enrique loves that move. Like he does this and tells Vitinha will drop back. They'll give him the ball. Nuno Mendes and Hakimi will drop back a little bit. Or what happens is Dembele comes in the middle and Hakimi runs into the 9 position, trying to drag the defender away. We should not bite. If we don't bite, if we can make sure that Rice is our free man, pressing on Vitinha, forcing Vitinha back to the goalkeeper, and then we come back again and keep them in that mid block. Because the thing about keeping them in the mid block is they like to send Mendes forward. They like to send Hakimi forward. These 2 players are going to be forced back now to face Saka and maybe Trossard or whoever else is on the left. And down that middle, the most important thing is just getting the ball to Gyökeres or to our best creative player. I think if we keep them in that position and we're taking shots, getting corner kicks, getting set pieces, let them have the ball. Use your strongest. This is our superpower.
Sorry, Dio, but it's like use your strongest tools to your advantage. Like if you
that's it.
Like bro, you have these available. Like why are you not taking advantage?
Yeah, that's what we need to do, because again, it's almost like what's his name again? What's this boxer's name? Mayweather. Mayweather is not the biggest knockout boxer, right? But he's the best defensive guy. He gives you that shoulder when he's boxing. He gives you that shoulder. He's like, you take it, you take it, you take it. Like, this is who we are. That's how we played football all season. But that team that off the ball, in fact, let me tell you how drilled it is into us. If you notice when the boys were watching the Bournemouth game against City,
Saliba said 4-4-2.
Saliba said 4-4-2 boys. 4-4-2 boys. Because again, that is how
they all screaming like they out on the touchline.
No, but you know what I was saying? That was also
that's what we need to do, man.
That's what we need to do when obviously they're on the ball. Obviously, if we're on the ball, because there's going to be moments where we're going to have goal kicks, where we're going to be on the ball from a deeper position. I think how we can approach it is dependent on what they're giving us. I think if we can go long. Obviously, when we're pressing them, we should definitely nullify that part.
If we're on the ball, we want to get it to our best output players, which is Saka. 1v1, 2v1, Saka will get us a corner kick. He will get. That's why I'm like, just try and if you can go long, if it's Havertz, go long to Havertz. He drops it into Eze. You get the ball out to Saka 1v1 early, because I think one thing maybe before the Fulham game that I would have been a bit worried about for this game is that we were playing a bit too slow. Like sometimes I always feel like in football, momentum's a thing, innit? Like, so if you start a 90-minute game, you need to kind of show the ops what you're on, so they kind of know, okay, this is what we're going to base it. Like if you're just passing side to side for the first 10 minutes, they're going to start to say, okay, that they're not really penetrating us pause. They're not really trying to. But guess what?
It's almost like you give them like that.
I think since that Fulham game, we started to kind of punch passes through the lines. We started to kind of play 1-2s. We started to do this kind of stuff that.
I think you got to break up the halves. Like, I think you got to kind of tell the guys, all right, first 15 minutes, be defensively sound. Do you get what I'm saying? Break up the half. All right, for 10 minutes here, boom, go for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, don't go crazy, but I feel like you got to have a balance.
I think Mikel will learn from that first leg at Emirates, where we got punched in the mouth early at Emirates, and he'll probably say, you know what? And
that's another thing, we can't concede early against PSG.
Which is why, to Dio's point, I think sitting in the block and letting them have the ball early to kind of try and nullify them and their flow, and then going into the game will be key. But when we do have the ball, have that intent. If there's players in space, which I think PSG will give you the space. I'm not saying they wouldn't play a block, because they did show that block against Bayern very, very well as well. But I think given the final, given the neutral nature of it, given the fact that I think it'll be in a balance, I think Arsenal got to try and make sure at times you're finding Eze in them pockets. You're giving, if Saka's making that inside movement, you're giving the ball to him. There's off the ball runners. Trossard is finding that Calafiori.
I just want to ask, sorry, just to pivot, because I know obviously us stopping PSG has something to do with personnel also, So I know I heard you refer to Havertz starting the game, which obviously I think he's going to start as well. I said that last week. Boys, how do you feel like we're going to actually line up against PSG? Because like we said, Timber's back in training. I think if he's anywhere even half fit, you're going to want obviously Timber to play because Ben White's been injured.
No.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I'm not gonna lie.
Let me land. Hold on.
Yeah, go on.
Hold on. So Timber half fit, maybe we don't know if he's actually been fit and we've just been holding him back instead of rushing him. So that could be a thing. We don't know that. Also, you've spoken about who starts up front. I think another big question is who starts in midfield. Does Skelly start over Zubimendi? So fellas, I just want you to just have a second, yeah. Please just give me your starting 11 and just explain to me why you would start this player. Because naturally, probably about 8 of the starting 11 is pretty much going to be nailed on, right? There's only going to be a few decisions that we change. So just have a think about what your starting 11 would be. And
can I go first?
Go on.
Yeah,
I got mine because we done it yesterday.
Yeah, I got mine as well.
Tunnel TV. But for me, obviously, I'm going Raya and goal. Gabriel Saliba.
Hey, chat as well. Let me know.
Gabriel and Saliba kind of picks themselves. Left back, I'm going Hincapié, not Calafiori. I'm going for that like defensively sound player. I need I need my defender to be able to defend before he could attack, kind of thing. I need that. I need to be sure, especially when you're going up against PSG. They got one of the maddest attacks. So yeah, for me, I need a defender that could defend. Give me Hincapié left back, right back. I'm going Mosquera. Depending on what you just said as well, Arteta could have been training from weeks back and we don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? He could have been hiding this one. This could have been one of his like kind of tricks up his sleeve. If Timber is fit and we don't know it, yeah, and he is fit and we're not risking nothing, yeah, Timber goes in there. But if he's not fit and we got to risk it, nah, I'm good, man. I'll put Mosquera right back. And then I'm thinking of Raw. If we go 1-0 up, it's like 70th minute. That's when I'm dashing on Timber. I'm saying, yo, go play. This is you got half an hour. Half an hour to just defend. I don't even want you to go forward. Just make sure these men don't score. That's your job. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'll go Mosquera. In the 6, I'm going Rice. In the 2 8s, I'm going Odegaard. And I'm going for Eze. Like, yeah, I'm going for both of them. And then on my left, I'm going Trossard. Down the middle, this one's tricky because with a PSG side, yeah, if you let them like dictate the play and you're knocking it up there to Gyökeres and it's not sticking and it's just coming back every time, pause, it could be a long day. Like, it could be a very long day. So if going off the last final, going off the bro, I'm gonna go with Havertz. I'm gonna be real. No. Gyökeres is my guy.
Hey, SB, give us that.
Listen. Hold on. Let me explain.
Biggest game of Arsenal's history in 22 years. He's not going to be.
No. You could come off
Well,
the bench.
he has. You know the funny thing. He actually.
Let me explain. Let me explain before man pause. Please let me explain. For me, bro, you're going up against PSG, yeah? We've seen in the Premier League when this ball's bouncing back against like the likes of Brentford and these teams, and it's just, they're onto us, you know what I'm saying? So for me, if you're giving PSG too much of this ball, it is going to be a long day.
Yeah.
This is the first Champions League final in 20 years? 20 years, bro. Years. I don't know when I'm going to see this again. Gyökeres, man, love you, bro. You're my bread, all of this. Yeah, you could come off the bench and still make history. You're part of this. Listen. And this is how you know. Hold on. This is how you know, yeah, I'm not a player. Like, I've been backing Gyökeres the whole season. Bro, I need my team to win. And I'm going with for me, what's the best option that I feel like win. Now, I need that ball to stick up.
That's fair enough.
So let me catch. Let me back you up here. I have a very similar lineup. I will actually play Mosquera first and bring in Timber if he's fit, because right now we don't know his fitness status, so it's going to be Mosquera. The reason I would also play Eze, Odegaard, and Rice in the midfield and play Havertz is this press that we talked about. Our best pressers who lead the press are Odegaard and Havertz. If you're going to
okay, Dio.
Let me just land this.
Dio, hold on.
Let him land.
No. It's literally 2 seconds. So you said Havertz is our best. Say what you said again. Sorry, because
I said Havertz and Odegaard are our best pressers when it comes to pressing the other team. They lead the press. So again, when we talk about,
so you weren't disagreeing? My bad.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that's
he said he's gonna back you up, man.
I think that's similar to my lineup. The reason I'm playing Odegaard and Havertz, again, Odegaard, Havertz, and Saka. Remember, they're and Ben White. Even though we don't have Ben White right now, that right side has always been ticking whenever they're all fully fit. They've had time to rest now. They know exactly what they need to do. Another reason why I'm picking Havertz is this: Havertz creates space. If his movement up front, defenders don't know what to do with him. They don't know what to do with him.
I hear what you guys are saying about Havertz, but
Corey, before you burst the straight, let him land because
the fact that Havertz links up on the wings as well, like Gyökeres is it's like a one-trick pony.
That's why. No, he's not a one-trick pony. Here's the difference.
Not a one-trick pony. Hold on. Wait. Before they go, no, because people are gonna go mad on that. Hold on. I'm not saying in terms of Gyökeres is going to be down the middle. He's going to try running behind. They ain't really going to pass it to his feet. Do you know what I'm saying? So you kind of know what to expect. With Havertz, he could run in behind. He could link up on the wing with Saka. He might be on the left. You don't know. He might drop into the
Catch. I hear all of that. Yeah, but let
me just.
No, let's go. Hold on for a second, Dio, real quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to take long. I hear all that. What you guys are saying about Havertz, all that creating space, all that with the press as well. Bro, this is a final. I feel like that's like the one thing.
That's the reason why. That's exactly the reason why.
That's the reason why you have to play Havertz.
That's the reason why you take this type of risk in the final, because they're not expecting you to take this type of risk. They're expecting you to bring your strongest Hincapié. No, I'm playing Calafiori. I'm going to say Calafiori, stay back, don't bite. Let me tell you why. Calafiori.
Come on, man.
Let me get my lineup next. Yeah.
Hold on. Just let me. Again, this is what I would do as a manager. Fair enough, Arteta can do whatever he wants to do. If he wins with his own method, great. But I'm telling you, based on what I can see from the TV and what I know about the players, Calafiori, don't bite. Anytime anybody's attacking, stay defensively secure. But when you see that opening, I know you have it better than Hincapié to go forward and make something happen. Because those windows will happen in spouts in the game. In that game, there will be chances where coming from the left, Calafiori is the guy who's inverting into midfield, allowing Rice to push up, allowing Eze and Odegaard to push up, be on the edge of the box, where you then have Havertz running rampant, trading space as much as he can, at least for Saka, right? So at the end of the day, my thing is disrupt them. And when it comes to defensively, we already know the system. We played the same 4-4-2 against every team, no matter who we fielded. There were times in the season, this season, I know this is not PSG, but there were times this season, right, where we played. There were times this season where we played Zubimendi, Madueke, Gyökeres, who else? Hincapié and Mosquera. 5 new players in the team against many teams in the Premier League, and they played in that profile. It's about profiling. If you're going to defend, we know it's 4-4-2. We defend in that way. It doesn't matter who you put there. They know the job to do. But then going forward against the PSG, you want a little bit of chaos. You don't want order, because once they follow your order, they're going to nullify you. Defensively, they're solid. You saw what they did to Bayern in the second leg. Defensively, they can be solid.
They shut them out, bro.
Yeah, they'll finish the rest of your team. They'll finish the rest of your team. So you said Calafiori.
So I said Calafiori. I'll do Rice, Odegaard, Eze. On the left wing, I'll do Trossard. I think he's a little more secure with the ball. Right wing, Saka. And then up front, I'll do Havertz.
Okay, cool. KP?
I think my team is very, very similar to Dio's, but I think for 2 reasons why I definitely think Timber's going to start in it. To SV's point, I think Mikel doesn't give anyone team news for a reason. He's one of those, he doesn't want to give any manager an advantage, doesn't want to give any media any talking points in it. I think a very, very telling point is that Timber is in the World Cup squad. So if he's not going to play, he's going to play 10 minutes for Arsenal. I'm saying he's going to play 10 minutes for Arsenal. Let me land in it. I'm saying then we're going to see him play for 4 or 5 games for Netherlands. I say, he could have played in the final for you. I'm not trying to hear all of that. And 2, if he's fit enough to be going to, I think World Cup starts in 2 weeks, if I'm correct. Like, I'm not saying he's going to start, but I'm saying like he's probably we've been hearing that this has been the game they've been kind of, do you know what I'm saying, trying to get him back for, innit? Like they've been saying this for a long time. I don't think he's just been injured and they're just going to throw him in there. Arsenal wouldn't do that because there's a lot of points. So I would be playing Timber, obviously Saliba, Gabriel. I'm with Dio. Calafiori got to start. I think two things of their importance. I think if you play, the only problem with Catch's team for me is that you won't be able to build up properly with Mosquera and Capie as your left back, which means PSG will have more emphasis to press us because they're not the strongest in the build up, which means you're giving them an advantage. And I think in this type of game, you need to give.
But I don't feel
no, I'm saying like for fact, yeah, I'm saying for the reason why Ben White, like even in his lack of fitness, needed to play because he's one of our best build up players. And obviously Calafiori, since he's been fit, Capie was one of our best players in 2026. All of a sudden, Calafiori was fit, he's been in. And there's a reason why. And I'm saying sometimes it gets like that because players are that important.
Like 3 games or something.
No, it's been like 4 or 5 games, isn't it? But the whole either way, it doesn't really matter. What the point I'm trying to make is that Calafiori's defensive capabilities get underrated a lot because of what he brings going forward. He's a very good defender. Don't think just because Capie is a specialist that Calafiori also isn't a specialist. I think he's been very good this season. I just think also what he balances going forward gives you an advantage because you have to remember you want to win the game. And I think if Arsenal have a 1-goal lead, then you want to bring on Capie to kind of see it out. Take off Calafiori's
That's what I was going to say, KP.
Then you bring on the Mosquera.
Because I hear that when you say that.
So do you know what I mean?
Did you finish your team?
Catch.
No, I didn't finish, but you guys go.
Catch. KP is actually right. You can't have Mosquera and Nkapie. You don't have any build-up from those fullbacks. Both of them. They are both defensively secure. Very defensive. Hold on.
I'm underrating Mosquera's. Bro, Mosquera can play ball, you know.
I didn't say he can't play ball, but it's different.
He can't play ball as well as in
Obviously not.
Let me explain why it's going to be difficult for him to play ball. He's going up against Kvaratskhelia, the best winger in the world right now. For me, as a manager, I would tell Mosquera, be secure defensively first before you play any ball because it's Kvaratskhelia. If it was a different winger, I'll let him play ball, be defensive, play ball. But against Kvaratskhelia, you have to be 110% because he will turn 2-man and cut in and shoot and he's scoring. So again, Mosquera's primary duty on that side would be to try to shut this guy out 100%. So he's not going to get the chance as much to play ball. So you need an output from the left side, which is why I wouldn't play Nkapie. I would play Calafiori instead. To actually give me an output on that side, because if we recycle the ball, Saliba, Gabriel, back to Calafiori, leave Kvaratskhelia alone with Mosquera. Just don't let him get the ball. Now we can use the left as an output. But I'm not underrating Mosquera's skill set. I'm just saying when you're going up against a player like Kvaratskhelia, your focus is not on your 1 out of 3 good through balls. No, your focus is on shutting out.
I think I have to agree with what KP's saying about like building up from the back. I think it's so important, Catch, like having someone who can alleviate pressure and handle when people are pressing you, because that's how PSG are gonna play. And Mosquera, don't get it twisted.
Wait, hold on.
Man, Mosquera and Nkapie.
No, it's styles that make fights.
Hold on, let me land.
It's styles that make fights. We're not saying Nkapie is not good. We're saying based on the team you're playing, because of how dangerous their wingers are, and then Hakimi and Nuno Mendes also balling all the way forward. Yes, you want defensive solidity, but you also need an output on either the left or the right.
Show people you got an intent going forward.
If Timber was fit, right, then I'd play Nkapie. I'd play Nkapie and Timber. Because Timber is a good output for me. I know Timber is not afraid to drive with the ball. Nkapie is also not afraid to drive with the ball. But remember, he's going up against Dembele and Doué on that left side. So again, it's going to be a lot of pressure on those fullbacks. I think
also Catch, you see, with like playing Mosquera right back, and I feel like obviously the understanding between the right back and the right winger, I think that's something that is going to help you go forward as well. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Like the relationship that Timber has with Saka is going to be a lot more like seamless, and it's going to be more fluid than Mosquera and Saka. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
And you guys have to realize that Mikel was very intentional with things. He would have made sure, he would have told Timber that if by the time the league was looking like maybe Burnley game, we win that, he would have said, you know what, just make sure you're back for this game. Because this is the kind of game that Arsenal want to have. We want to have our strongest ability to win this game. Like last year, we had so many excuses and we were still so close. Now this year, we have the opportunity to play. Mikel has the opportunity to play his strongest 11 for whatever he visioned in summer today in that game and how he wants to play and display his stuff in it.
for me, it's play your strongest 11 against who you're playing. Like, who are they? They
Your
have
strongest 11 for the opponent type. Is that what you
yeah.
Yeah.
Because these guys, these men have moments players. They've got Dembele, and you know how he roams the entire place. You have Doué, you have Kvaratskhelia. Okay, so on my team, who can I put up against this person that I know can nullify their strength and can play to their own strength? So, yeah, Gabi and Saliba, perfect, great stuff down the middle, right? But down the left, again, it's Doué. Doué can have an amazing day with Hakimi and all these guys behind him. And man, it's like it's a crazy thing for us to just not have an output. That's my thing.
And you know the thing as well.
Hey fellas, let me just pause you there for 1 second. Yeah, big up Don Hussam, big up Hussam in the building, my guy. Listen, if you just joined from over there, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe to the guys. Everyone's links are in the description. Show the man them some love that way, man. Big up Hussam and them every time.
Congratulations on the marriage, man.
Big up.
You see all that bunch of hair you got there, Hussam? Yeah,
that's all coming off still. That's all coming off still.
Yeah, you're gonna come
get that trimmers out, bro. Get the razor, man.
I know, I'm playing.
But
finish your point.
I'll finish my lap as well. Yeah. So just I think Timber will play, and I think Calafuri will play, and I think it just enables us to be, because Timber is still, to me, the best right back defensively in the world, and I think Calafuri is very, very underrated defensively, but what he gives us going forward adds to it. My midfield three will be the same as both Dio and Catches. Obviously, Rice at the 6.
But wait, hold on. You see that one, yeah? You see that one? Let me get to the point. Obviously, Lewis Skelly is the question, isn't it? Lewis Skelly is the question. Obviously, it's between Lewis Skelly and Odegaard for me, because Eze has to play because he's a difference maker in the final. But I think the difference between those two players not playing is big. Like Dio said, if Odegaard don't start, I think our press is way different if we don't have Odegaard. Also, our ability to build up through the free. Are you not concerned? Yeah, because obviously I've heard Catches and Dials and your team. You guys got a similar midfield. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Obviously, they're gonna have a lot of the football in it. Like naturally, they're gonna have a lot of the ball. So, would you not feel like
if they have a lot of the ball, then you need people that can press them.
But you also need someone who is not just always adverse to think attacking minded. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
I agree with you.
So I think like you have to have more of a balance. I feel like that midfield will be perfect against the team where you know that you're going to dominate the ball. However, I think like
hold on. Let me stop you. But then, don't you feel like PSG knows that we're gonna set up with a Rise? So for
me, this is what I'm saying to you. I haven't given my team, but I'm just saying, just thinking about balance wise, I think like the balance of the midfield is wrong if you have Odegaard, Eze, and Rice in there. I just think against João Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and Neves. João Neves, sorry. I think them three, like, I just think they've got more of a balance in midfield.
Do you know what it is, SB? Because I agree with you totally, yeah. But it's about where you want to take a game and moments, because I feel like I want Lewis Skelly to play for two reasons, because I feel like it gives you that balance. I think that midfield three of Lewis Skelly, Declan Rice, and Eze is very balanced. Obviously, Lewis Skelly's a true 8, but also
early for him.
But it's not that too early. I think it's a perfect game for him. I just think
I don't even think it's too early.
I think like in terms of PSG and like you want a man to kind of beat a man to draw out the other man.
No,
yes,
but
the whole go on.
Do you know why I would say too early? Because he did play both legs against them last year, and he did play well, even though and I know it's different. But I'm just saying, like in terms of the skill set, it's still the skill set. But I'm just looking at what gives us the strength, because I feel like SB. I agree with what you're saying about the balance, but sometimes there's always going to be something you're gonna give in it. It's the same way if you put Gyökeres or Havertz, you're gonna lose something by gaining something in it. But it's about where you want to take the game, and I think Odegaard is a true number 8. Like I think he's one of the best number 8s in the world, in my opinion. But I think if he plays next to Rice, obviously, depending on the context of the game, when we're in possession, he's going to be a bit deeper. When we're out of possession, maybe he's a bit higher. Yes, you're asking Eze to do a job off the ball, but I think it's also context to how Arsenal.
Let me add something to what you just said. So SB, you said they would have most of the ball, which is fair. No, I'm saying based on what he said. I'm just talking based off what he said. He said they would have most of the ball. their midfielders are press resistant, right? You need people to press them consistently so that they can keep recycling and going backwards. If they have most of the ball and we have players who also were trying to match them technically, no, you don't. You want to be the opposite of what they have.
No, but I'm not saying you have to match them technically. I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying you said that. I'm saying that if that's the thought process of having Lewis Kelly, who is also a very solid midfielder there with Rice, and then that's almost a double pivot that you're playing, right? With Lewis Kelly, Rice, and then say maybe only Eze as your creative outlet. You don't.
Yeah, but do you know why I feel like it's important?
I'm just saying that in that midfield, you don't have anybody who's going to press. If you have a Havertz and an Odegaard in your front line against those guys, just consistently pushing them backwards.
No. I agree with what you're saying. I don't disagree. However, I think a lot of the time, we're so focused on, we just got to press. You can't press all the time. So I feel like sometimes, and wait, hold on, Dial, 1 second. See, on Catch's point, where he was talking about earlier, where he doesn't want our centre-halves to follow and step out with Dembele when he drops into the 9. Now, if Declan Rice is, obviously, if we're going 3v3 man for man in midfield and Dembele does drop in, who's going to go with him if you've only got a single pivot?
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm saying to you, if you have
man for man, though. I didn't say go for man for man. What I said, again, if you understand what I'm saying, you have like a Havertz and a Odegaard that does that pressing, chasing the ball with those players, so that those players, which means Rice is free. Rice is not going anywhere. Rice is not pushing forward. I'm saying you're using the strength of our players against them, which is Odegaard can run for 99 minutes straight. We've seen him do it in every game. That guy keeps running. Fair enough. If you have a player like him and Havertz who drags defenders away, then Odegaard is pressing. And a creative player like Eze, when we get the ball, we have two creative outlets right now. We then have Odegaard on the ball, Eze on the ball, and then you have. So my point is, I'm saying when we play against a team like them, they're a very, very strong team, probably the best team in the world right now. You have to be their antidote.
Dial, right? I just think, like, I agree with having Eze, Odegaard both on the pitch at the same time. I just wouldn't have them both in midfield at the same time. That makes sense. For me, I would play Eze from the left this game, play him from the left.
No,
that's me personally. Wait.
When Trossard has been so clutch, like, that's
SV's team, innit?
Yeah. For me, that's crazy. Trossard has to be out on that left.
Because I feel like obviously, Odegaard, having him in the team, you know that obviously the way he presses and the way he plays, we're gonna have to have a lot. Like, we're gonna need him to get on the ball. Trossard's been quality, but I feel like Eze has to play too, and I wouldn't play both of them in midfield.
But what you're doing is now you're sacrificing a strong player in Trossard who can shoot with the left and the right, who comes up with big goals and big moments, who's somebody who's secure with the ball, and also drop.
You're going on like Eze ain't those things as well, though.
But
SB, the one thing with that is that we ain't like, bro. When was the last time we seen Eze out on the left from the start?
Imagine having Trossard on the pitch, Eze on the pitch, Odegaard on the pitch. Listen to what I'm saying clearly, right? Now, all these players are creative players in their own different ways. Trossard is very creative in his own way. Eze is very creative and he's a maverick in his own way, and so is Odegaard. But when we play defensively, these guys know how to set up in the 4-4-2 to do their job. Offensively, when we have the ball, you now have more creative outputs, including Saka, which allows someone like Havertz to just do his madness.
Which is why SB is that you have to sacrifice some stuff.
All of this that I've said, I've not even mentioned Rice crashing the box. Rice is just staying there to be safety screening. Calafiori will be the guy who is now coming into that midfield to crash the box, because I know Rice can cover that ground if anybody's coming back. So for me, it's playing again, because PSG, God, their attack gives me nightmares. Literally.
Yeah. And you have to think about SB.
As I'm talking about them now, my heart is literally.
Yeah, but Dio, that's why also you have to have a balance, though.
Yeah, but SB, you're acting like the team with that team is so imbalanced that it's like, oh my God. Because I feel like the point I'm trying to say is that, like, Odegaard, whether he's operating very high in the 4-4-2 or we've dropped back into the shape and he's deeper, or players are dropping back, these players, especially the team I'm playing, obviously, just to finish my front three, I'll go Trossard, Saka, and Havertz in the 9. But it's because you need. I think what I was seeing in that first half against Burnley, and albeit be Burnley, yeah, like I think there was a lot of positive stuff between Odegaard and Eze, a lot of interactions on the ball that I really liked, and then obviously the press was always going to be good. There's always going to be something that you're going to give, but I think we have a very intelligent manager that will know how to try and not show maybe the weaknesses of certain players or certain things against a team like this, but knowing the advantages it gives us, because it's all about the advantage you want to take against PSG, and then where the game's going to be, because by the 60th minute, you might need a Lewis Skelly style in the midfield. You might want Martinelli's pace out wide. You might want to make certain changes, or you want Gokarov's channel running. But I think it makes the most sense, because I think we need Odegaard playing, we need Eze playing, but I think you can't take out Trossard out of this team, especially in the form he's in now. And especially, he's probably our most creative player playing right now. When I'm seeing what he's doing, the chances he's making, the spaces, the connection he has with Calafiori, who has to start for me.
And you have to realize,
he has as well. I feel like
and also you have to realize that all our players have been playing with a lot of pressure this season to win something. And after winning the Premier League, they're actually going to be playing with a freer mind in this this final.
Manager included.
Exactly. They're not playing. They're not playing to save our season right now. They're playing to become legends of the
legends. Club. So you make bold. It doesn't mean Mikel's going to start some random team, but I think he might know that. Okay, like we want to nullify them, but you also want to try and make sure we could win this game or have an advantage in the first half, like make them think, because. Or
even push it to penalties.
Or push it to penalties, because you'll be able to kind of obviously. The question asked is if he brings in a Zubimendi, which if he even starts Zubimendi, I'm not angry at all, because he's been tried and tested, I think, very disrespected this season. But I think I want to see a game where Arsenal play like Arsenal, and I think we can do both. I think Mikel would want to test out, could he balance the team to where they will be defensively sound, but we're also going forward, can we be attacking wise? And Havertz has to start just before CORYY goes in, because you need an outlet to play. Like, you don't need balls bouncing left and right. And one main thing, he has been at this stage. He has done it at this stage. He has scored at this stage.
I agree with you, Capes, but just Angel's advocate, because you're talking about PSG pressing so high, bro, they will leave space. They will leave space in behind for Gyökeres.
Yeah, but I don't think there's too much difference between Gyökeres and Havertz sprint speed. I don't think there's much difference between who can make runs. I think we saw against Man City in one of the a similar game like this, where you're playing a team that's going to be open. That's going to be he played went with Havertz. Havertz got a lot of chances. The one that he missed, that 1v1, like if we're talking about maybe taking those chances or getting those moments, cool. But in terms of fashioning the whole style, how you want to play, like Saka being able to kind of invert, go central, Havertz right.
I want Havertz to start.
All those things mean, and I think bringing on Gyökeres against a bit more tired legs is if the Patro news is true and they're playing a substitute centre back, and then you're bringing in Gyökeres, I think that all matters in it. But I think Arsenal can win this game. I think the one neutralizer for me is just being champions changes things. Obviously,
so there's a stat this season that talks about Arsenal's off the ball and how we tire teams out, how we actually just suffocate them and they get tired from chasing the ball because we're doing side to side, we're not moving it forward as quickly, and then eventually we find a way to score, right? That stat in itself, if we can put that type of pressure on them, and then in the second half, or maybe 68 minutes, 60, 65 minutes, bring in fresh legs, bring in a Gyökeres at that point to stress the defenders some more. Bring in a Martinelli to start running at people and going to the byline. I would rather, do you understand? Like, I would try to burn, because this PSG team has been well rested this season. All their key players have played very, very limited.
Dio, I see something like Dembele started like 10 games in the league.
Yes.
10 or 11 or something like that.
So they're well rested. We need to burn out their energy.
Bro, we got to rough them up. I'll be so real. You got to rough it.
100%, bro.
These men remind. Go on. Sorry.
So at this point, it's not even man for man. Make them chase the ball consistently. Yes, they're good with their press, but guess what? We are the best team off the ball. Without having the ball, we're the best team in all of Europe. We need to use that to our advantage. Get these men tired a little bit. Find our opening. Make sure we have some of our best creative players on the pitch, so that when we get that opening, they can create something. Even if all they have to create is 11 corner kicks, I guarantee Gabriel can score you 1 out of those 11. I'm happy to take a corner kick of Gabriel from Odegaard's one-time pass and Saka trying to cross it in and somebody deflecting that corner, or from Eze's shots that the goalkeeper punches to the left. I'm happy to take those options against the PSG, because I think marginally they're better than us attacking-wise. Defensively, they're very solid. Let's not get it twisted. This is the same team that went toe-to-toe with Bayern, 6-5, and then in the next game, what happened? They shut Bayern out. They literally came in
at
there,
home as well, which makes it like
literally
more
came in there and
I
shut them
feel
up.
like you got to be physical with them. But, bro, they play that pretty football. It's all cute over there. Like, they like to just kind of...
You gotta rough them up. That's the reason why I said at the beginning, we cannot play, like, we cannot play.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful in Europe about roughing players up. This is not...
Obviously, you got to have a balance. I'm not just saying go out there and start guy mad. I'm saying that...
All that stuff we do in the corner kick... Hold on. All that stuff we do in the corner kick in the Premier League, do that stuff in Europe, you're not getting nothing. You're getting the card.
No, I'm talking about just leaving little,
No, but what he's just talking about is just, fam, if you're a bigger man than a man, you just use your grown man strength, lean on a man, show a man that it's like...
Just let him... Bro, we just gotta let him know like what kind of game we're here to play type.
Yeah, I know, but
I feel like that's what we have to do with it.
If you're talking about shoulder to shoulder, of course we're bigger. So if you come at me and I stiff up and you hit me and you know not to come back and hit me again. You know, I don't have to, because in Europe, I said be careful because I don't want to lean on you and the referee looks at it and gives me a yellow card. Now I've got to be careful for the next 60 minutes. I can't really tackle you anymore. I can't really do anything anymore. I'm ineffective.
But where it's a final, I feel like the first, like, obviously not go mad. I'm not saying go out there double foot challenge, man. No, but I feel like, bro, leave a challenge on man. Yeah, the first 2 minutes you need to impose yourself. Let them know, raw. These are here to rock. There's other ways to play that cute stuff.
I know. There's other ways to impose yourself without making it something that could offer the referee a chance to give you a card. There's other ways to impose yourself in the first few minutes, which is make sure they don't have the ball. Make them run around, ping one over. Let Saka do one thing and let's get like a quick corner first, or strike the bar. And if you're lucky, you score. And if you're not lucky, once you do that, they're shaking. If you score first in the first few minutes, that's the best.
Dial. Let me go to CORYY because CORYY hasn't given his team. CORYY, let's just quickly hear your team, bro.
I feel like my team, my team is like a mixture of like all you guys, and then I got like a little like my own like little like season on the top. So obviously like back four is like the majority of the savings everyone's Raya, Saliba, Gabriel. I'm gonna play Mosquera at right back. I would do with I don't remember if it was KP or Dai who said it, but like if it gets to that point late in the game and you need that extra body, bro, throw Timber on them. Like that's what I would do. Left back, I will also go with Calafiori, like for me, because I know we always say like defensively he's got like that moment in him. But for me, bro, like recently, like ever since like the Atletico first leg, I'm not really seeing him have like those moments where it's like him getting caught out or getting cooked by the winger on the right side. And going forward, we obviously know like when we look at all of our fullbacks, we know Calafiori is like clearly like the best in terms of going forward. So for me, I will play him. Midfield, Rice in the 6. I feel like ever since he's gone into the 6, bro, I feel like naturally it's just like everything's just like so much more easier to him. And you know that even if he's gonna he can if he's gonna take the ball, carry it forward, we know he's capable of doing that too. So I'll play Rice in the 6. I would put Skelly in midfield. I'm not gonna lie. For me, Zubimendi, ever since the international break, bro, I feel like the levels have just gone down. Like I'm not saying it's like gone down from like, for me, he was playing out like a good 7-8 for majority up until that point. I feel like ever since then he's gone down to like 6s and 5s. So for me, I would play Skelly in there. And just like it is like what I said about Rice playing the 6, midfield is natural to him. I know what people are gonna say. Oh yeah, because we're playing the whole PSG. I wouldn't do like when people are saying Eze and Odegaard in midfield. Like on paper, I feel like that looks great with it. But like I feel like if you go back into the season, like I'm pretty sure them two have only started midfield together twice, and it was Burnley game and West Ham. You look at both of those are two teams that went down. So like I do feel like Arteta will only play them two when like what Dio said earlier, like when you know you're gonna dominate the ball, you know that like you're gonna be the imposing team. Like when you know that straight away, I feel like that's when it's okay to play those two. I don't feel like this is the game for that. So I would play Skelly in midfield. I would play Odegaard as well. I'm not gonna lie. I am more of an Eze guy when it comes to these, but I feel like when we were talking about the press and all that, I feel like bro, he's like the one that leads that for me, man. And like, it's not even just like a thing where like I'm just seeing it this season. Like Odegaard has always been like a crazy runner. Like what KP said, Barter will run for 99 minutes. Like we already know. So I'll do that. What? Go on.
Can I just something real quick?
Quickly, people. No, hold on. We got 200 people in there. Smash the likes, man. Let's get us to 120 likes. There's like 200 in there. Let's smash the likes.
Bro. Smash the likes for the champions, man.
I like the Skelly. I like the Skelly call, and I think it's a good call. Having said that, that midfield again, the scary part for me is now we're banking on the fact that if they press Skelly, if he loses the ball, because Skelly likes to hold the ball and share
he's
the ball.
risky. He's risky. I don't like.
And with a PSG that is that dangerous, all they need is one mistake, one press for him to lose the ball in the middle of the field, right in front of his back four. When
That's what happened in the second leg last season.
Yes. So for me, I like the fact that Odegaard and Eze have not played a lot of games together. So PSG's analysts don't have a lot to
They don't have that much reference still to that. Not much tape still. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
They have enough reference to go off our profile players that have played regularly together to be able to say, when this guy does this, do this. When this guy does this, do this. When this guy does this, do this. Right? Which is why
I do hear you with that, but like I feel like you could also say the same thing about when Skelly plays in midfield. But like, what's it called? When you say like they're looking at like the tape, like I feel like Skelly's tape's just like a bit more bigger because
I agree. But Skelly has played 3 or 4 games in the midfield.
But you have to also,
what was the first one? What was the first one you saw? Was it the Fulham game or was it before that?
Yeah,
you have to admit though, you're talking about pressing. If Zubimendi plays in midfield and
I'm not playing Zubi though. I never mentioned Zubi. I said pressing. Zubi is not on my. Zubi is on the bench. Zubi is coming in at the end if I'm 1-0 up and it's 15 more minutes. Fresh legs. Like, I'm not playing Zubi in this game. I'm playing Rice. I'm playing Odegaard for the press, and I'm playing Eze for the creativity. But when I'm defending in the 4-4-2 format, these guys know where to stand, who to mark, man for man, stay with your player, force them to go back. Whenever the chance arises and we have the chance to be able to like create something, I have majority of my creative players on the pitch to create something. So I hear you on the Skelly shout. It's also not a bad shout. I'm just looking at a different option. But
Who else?
Yeah. Now front three. What's it called? Trossard on the left. Clutch Gene. I feel like Clutch Gene is one thing I ain't seen a lot of people talking about. Also, when you look at when the way he's been played in the Champions League as well this season. Saka on the right. I mean, I don't think I need to say anymore. Like, come on, man. Like, this is not the game for no matter what kid, bro. Allow that shit, man. And then,
like a little 15 minutes to go, bare pace. Yeah, that's when your time's to come on and maybe.
Hey, listen, 15 minutes maximum, bro. 15 minutes,
bro. If we're like what? So you're telling me there's no space for Madueke in this?
I can't lie, like, because you have to remember there's 5 subs.
Cash, are we really having this conversation?
You're gonna make probably one of them at strike. You're probably making one of them at fullback or 2 of them at fullback. One of them in midfield. I can't lie, Saka see 90 minutes, bro. That's the final that we need to win the game. Like, hey, why is our franchise player coming off in a Champions League final? What are you talking about, man? By the way, he can hold bench and hold the trophy if we win still.
Sorry, hold on. Can I address on? I see people in the comments saying Zubi disrespect. No, it's not disrespect to Zubi. I need people to understand this, right? Zubimendi has played the most minutes for Arsenal this season.
Exactly.
Right? Zubimendi has played well over 47 games of 90 minutes this season.
I think it's more than that, Dio. I think he's touched 50. You said 90 minutes. My fault.
Of 90 minutes, full 90 minutes. His legs are tired. Arsenal have 4 players, I think, or 5 players in the squad who have played about 4,000 minutes, and that's 45 games of 90 minutes. In Man City, only 1 player has played a full 4,000 minutes, and that's Haaland. Every other person has played underneath that. So you have to understand that nobody is disrespecting Zubimendi for his skill set and how good he is. We're saying he's not played this many games in his entire career, and he scored his most goals in his entire career at Arsenal in his first season. This is his first season again, so he's had to blend, settle down, get used to the London life, get used to playing the high intensity game in the English Premier League. Played very well, played a lot more games than he should play, and he's tired. And it'll be very disingenuous of a manager to throw him into a final and have him hurt himself. Or in the World Cup.
Just quickly, just before we wrap it up here, I know everyone must have seen the Morgan Rodgers to Arsenal. What do man make of this though? Because like me personally, before I give man the floor, like Morgan Rodgers at left wing, I don't want him, bro.
No, bro. Shit. Bro, SB, bro, move with your downer self. Listen.
No. Hold on. Wait,
we are not fighting.
No, I'm about to say, let him land, Cash.
How can you tell me hold on if I'm speaking? I don't understand. I'm saying, bro, I don't want Morgan Rodgers as a left winger. Now, if we're gonna buy Morgan Rodgers as a midfielder, I'm all for it, bro. I'm here for it. But as a left winger, I feel like we need someone a bit more like Bradley Barcola. A little bit in that mode where we're going to have someone who's going to be a direct 1v1 winger. I don't feel like we have that. I think like we got Morgan Rodgers similar to Eze. It's like it's a bit similar.
But you're acting like you don't know our manager. Our manager loves players that could play in multiple positions. What could Rodgers do? He could play up top. He could play on the right. He could play in the 8. He could play on the left. That's what our manager likes. He's not going to get him for left wing. He ain't going to be the out and out left winger. It's never going to be that.
I think he might be, but I think you have to look at it like this, SB, innit? Like I think when you have wingers, when you're building a team, you need different profiles, innit? So like we have Trossard, who's more of a ball to feet, high touch player, creative player, and you have Martinelli, who's more of a touchline winger in behind threat, innit? I think if we're selling Trossard and bringing in Rodgers kind of replaces Trossard's mold in terms of what he can do, but he's way more physical, he's way stronger, he has way more ability to carry the ball, he has the ability to hit the ball, from out to the box as well and score kind of chances, and he has that ability to be versatile. I think in a similar way where Eze can also be used left wing, I think that will be the case. If Arsenal selling a Martinelli, then I think a Barcola profile makes more sense because he's more of that touchline winger. But I don't think Arsenal are selling Martinelli, and I think similar to Salah last season, where Liverpool should have let him go. I think it's like the same thing with Trossard. I think you would see his legs will be gone, and we'll be sad that we kept him. So I think
I do hear what KP is saying about the whole thing with that. I do feel like this is like one of the ones where like we need to see what's going to happen with the squad internally before we can make that full.
I think Trossard is good. I think Trossard is gonna go, and I think it makes more sense to let him go because he's 31. He's won the Prem. He came in as a probably not a stopgap, but I think his legs will go, and I think Martinelli.
I would keep Trossard and sell Martinelli because you can get.
No, I think the reason why I wouldn't, because you're looking at it more from a value of who you can get a transfer
from a profile perspective, right?
But I think
Rodgers is a good.
Yeah, and you have to think about it like with Martinelli. Martinelli is 24 years old. His value now is is probably the highest good. It's gonna continue to go up. With Trossard, it appreciates. I think he only has one more year on his deal.
I don't know what's gonna go up.
Arsenal are not going to give him another year on his deal, and he's only 31. And I'm saying with these type of players, where you've already seen for the 4 months of 2026, where Trossard looked like he was washed, and everyone is saying they want to see the back of him. I think you have to be mindful of these things because we'll get to October, November.
That's just the naive fans, though.
No, but I'm saying, but think about it.
Go a whole season.
No, I know, but I'm saying,
Mbappe and these man.
No, I know, but I'm saying the whole point I'm trying to say is like Mohamed Salah 2 seasons ago had mad a season and won Liverpool the Prem. They gave him a new deal and he's literally washed. I'm not saying that means the Trossard's going to be washed, but I'm saying when these players are at the older age, you have to manage it well because you're then having to say, we'll only have one winger to play for the whole season because Trossard can't play. You don't want to be in that situation. I think Martinelli, I think both of them should go in the next 2 windows, but I would sell Trossard first, Martinelli next season, and I think you can keep his profile in, bring in a Rodgers, then you can look for more of that touchline profile next season because I think there's no value in that.
Can I also add something, right? We've seen teams in the past where because football's changed, I get it, but this could be a new change again. I've seen teams in the past that dominated football without out-and-out wingers, right? Spain did it in 2010. Like all their players were all midfielders. I think they had Fabregas, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, David Villa, Juan Mata. They literally had Spain dominated the Euros, dominated the World Cup without any out-and-out winger. So again, if maybe the manager wants to change the way we play. That's why he's looking at this profile of players. But we're stuck as fans saying, we still need an out and out. We need somebody to replace Trossard. We need somebody to replace Martinelli. Maybe internally they've sat down and said, hey, listen, we're going a different direction next season. This is how we want to play. These are the caliber of players that we need because we know that if we play this way, we can still defensively we're solid and we're going to give the attack a fresh new approach, which is players that can play in multiple positions, appear in different places. Trossard.
Dio, you know why as well I don't want Rodgers, not because of his ability, because I think he's a very good player. I just think for me, he's a bit too hot and cold. Like I see, like he's a very purple.
But you got to understand where he is, though.
Yeah, but that's
I'm about to say you gotta take like a portion of the villa.
You can say the same thing about Eze.
You can say the same thing about all our. You can say the same thing about all our players.
These players make a difference.
Hold on, check it out. Martinelli showed up in the Champions League, in the league phase. He showed up off the bench, scoring here in the league.
But scoring every game, bro.
He was crap in the league for us. In the Premier League, he was crap for us. So players can have their purple patches. Every player has their purple patch. I think a lot of times most Arsenal fans look at our players and we try to compare them to some of the greatest players that have had consistent, like high levels of playing and like we think in our head that players should just 100% consistently throughout the season, perform. No, he is a purple patch player, but that's what you need. You need a Rodgers for 6-7 games to turn up and give you 12 points in the season.
And he will win you points still.
Yeah,
he
will pull out a goal from random.
Whether if it's
random
creating or scoring, bro.
Yeah, you need Saka to give you
the ability to win the game.
And you know what is as well, yeah. Obviously, even if he's not the player that we sign, I think he has skill traits that will this team needs. He has ball carrying through the middle that only probably Lewis Skelly, maybe a Rice, but to a different extent has. We don't have that. That changes our transition game to the Wild. He has a player that will shoot from outside the box. Yeah, we've got Eze, we've got Rice, but you have another player who scores low XG chances often. That changes your play. You have a player that has had the elevation of his career, being at Man City's academy, gone down to the lower leagues, going up, that also has that hunger, that personality, that drive. He has an arrogance about his play.
And he's young again. He's
only about 23, 24. He has an arrogance about his play. He's an England international. He can play in multiple positions. He even can be used in centre forward at times, which he even can be used centre forward at times. You have to remember, we still have players like. Obviously, we'll see what happens with Ranieri, Diamond. You still have Eze. You still have Saka. Our front. We might have some crazy front lines like old school.
KP, that's the one thing I'll say about it, that makes sense with it, bro. Because you said about earlier with Arteta when you said he doesn't make decisions for no reasons. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it for shits and gigs. If we say we did get Rodgers, I feel like that does add that extra versatility to okay, what kind of front line are we gonna play today? Is he gonna play? Are we gonna put Rodgers in the 10 today? Are we gonna put him out on the left? And then how does that work if you put a Saka out there on the right, or God forbid a Madueke if he has to start, if Saka God forbid gets injury type.
You could even go with Rodgers in the false nine.
You might go Rodgers false nine. You might still go Eze left. You might have Down 10. You might have.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Though, the option, the option.
I think that's what the team is trying to move to that. And I think just off the back of it, when we're seeing also the links to an Alvarez, Krupi type centre forward, that tells me the team is trying to move into.
Bring me. I'm not gonna lie, bring me Krupi, man.
I think the Krupi one will make more sense if they're getting Rodgers, because I think Alvarez's price is 130 mil, which is a lot.
Bro, I see someone bosses they're doing up 125. I'm like.
No, but obviously, but that's just what there is. But I think Rodgers has the intangibles to add to this team, and I think you have to also remember, when you're coming into a team like this, a better team than wherever you play for, your level raises, especially with a good player. The coach's standards is better. You as a player, the competition for your place. I don't think he walks in just.
Players are finding your runs,
and I think as well. But when he has intangibles in his team, it's good, especially if the team is playing a bit more free flowing in terms of the football, and is a bit more transitional as well. I think it will help. Obviously, I understand what SB was saying. I think there are other wingers out there that I would want, but it also depends on availability in it, because I want some of the best, and I think some of the best probably might not be available. And I think Rodgers is one of the better ones in the league.
I want to address something. There's a question, and somebody talked about how our left wing, both Trossard and Martinelli, have scored more goals than Noni Madueke and Saka this season, which is true, which is fair. The reason I am talking about Trossard leaving, and this is a personal thing, is because of the age profile. I think at 31. That's just the age profile for me with Trossard. I'm not.
I don't think. Yeah, but sorry, Dad. I don't think 31 is a bad. I feel like we got into the age where when the second man hits 30.
No. Hear me out.
Oh, bro's got the cane.
No. Hear me out.
I don't think so, bro.
No. Hear me out. I'm talking about if you want to be a dominant team going forward for the future. If you really want to be that team, see, we've seen Liverpool do it. Van Dijk is leaving now. Alisson, they're all in their 30s because they overstayed. The truth is, at this stage, let them bring in somebody to replace them and get one season. Listen, and you can keep dominating. You can actually have.
Wait. Man, I said quickly. Man, I saying, Mo Salah's the example, yeah. But for me, for Liverpool, Mo Salah's the guy. I feel like if we sign Trossard to another year or something, another 2 years, we got to tell him, all right, cool. You might not start every game. There might be someone.
Let me apply to that.
Sorry, KB, hold on. But if there's a talent right now that can come in for that same next 2 seasons that we're keeping Trossard for and can etch up his game, and when he's 25 becomes our marquee left winger in 2 seasons. Hold on.
That's it. No. We've seen Trossard do it.
But you're also banking on Trossard's legs not going.
Hold on. No, but you're not going to start him. You're not going to start him.
Yeah, but then you're paying. But Trossard's already on 150k because he's signed a new deal, and you're signing another player to stay on the bench and play only 10 games for 150k. Don't make sense.
Let me ask you this question: 2 seasons ago, when
if he's clutch, that's
what I'm saying. But I feel like people don't look at the clutching.
Let me ask you this. Listen, I'm going to say this. Answer this question. 2 seasons ago, Liverpool were linked with Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. Liverpool should have gotten Kvaratskhelia that 2 seasons ago when they needed to get a winger in, because 2 seasons ago, how old was Mo Salah? Mo Salah was already 31, right? All they needed to do then was bring in somebody else who, well, as this guy transitions out, he's the man now. Arsenal is doing it earlier. If you listen to Josh Kroenke,
yeah, but what's it called? Sorry to cut you off, Dyer, but like you can't really say like that's what like it's like that should have been it, because bro, he won him another Prem. Like
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but
that does not mean that
that was a good move still.
hold on, listen, that does not mean that at 30, again, don't get it twisted. He will still do stuff, right? I'm not saying Salah did not do stuff, but now you're going to struggle to get his replacement. When you when you spent 500 million, you didn't replace him because you had him in the team. You couldn't replace him.
Let me have this point. Yeah, Catch. I know what you're gonna say.
You can't compare Salah.
Yeah. So Catch. I'm
not comparing their skill set.
No, Dio. Let me make a point for you, because I know what you're gonna say.
When you look at like their contributions to the team, like what's it called, like the way Liverpool look at Salah, that's the way we
he's not. No, guys, look, he's not comparing. Like, you have to realize this, guys.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Playing as an attacker and being an older player is different than playing as a defender, playing as a midfielder, playing as a goalkeeper. If you're Trossard already, his profile similar to Salah. Trossard doesn't have pace. He's not a physical guy. He's not all of that. There's elements in which he's losing that. He's losing that already. And I'm saying with Salah last season, non-intelligent Liverpool fans would have said, "Oh yeah, sign him to the deal." No one could have said, no one would have guessed what would happen this season. But a very kind of sensible person that kind of thinks more than just next season would have said, "You know what? He is 34, 30, 33. Is it the most wisest thing to do?" And you have to also remember, in the window, there's going to be players that are going to be going to other teams that might have been your targets. That maybe next year when you want to replace a dead Trossard, you don't have the same type of market, because
I'm not signing a replacement.
But I'm saying, but that's why I made the point, Catch here, that it's building a squad is about profile. So if you keep Trossard, but then you don't have a pacey outlet winger to replace Martinelli, and then you bring in another like for Trossard, you don't have that type of player on your wing. That means that Arsenal already a team that want to be a chameleon team, that have all horses for courses, all styles to beat every type of fight. Like, you can't then not be thinking about that in that way. And I think naturally,
that's why I'm saying, KP. That's why I'm saying, KP.
You're missing the point. Hold on. We're depending on Trossard.
No, but it's not about. But it's about what. Go.
Catch. Hold on. What we're saying, and I think KP and I are saying the exact same thing, is the only reason is if you're going to keep Trossard for another season and you sell Martinelli, you've got to bring another Martinelli type player that is fast paced and everything, which means you are only dependent on a 32-year-old Trossard now going forward, right? If Martinelli gets injured, that's the only other person that you have. But if you take out a Trossard right now and bring in a younger Rodgers, right, and you keep Martinelli, who's still very, very fast paced, you have Rodgers to work with Martinelli. You have the young player that you can put the ideas into, right? At the end of the day, it's about swapping, and so that you now have continuity for the next 3, 4, 5 seasons.
Because you have to remember,
if for any reason Rodgers doesn't work out, you're a big club. We just made 760 million this year. You swap him the following season, get rid of him.
And also Dio, like Rodgers isn't just confined to being the left winger. Like, if he doesn't work out in the left wing, he therefore probably will work out in a 10 or something. And it's also a thing where like you have to think about managing the squad at the right time. The first point I made was about Martinelli is 24, Trossard's 31. Martinelli's value will probably maintain for the next couple of years, even if he stays in the same role.
Hold on. So you're telling me sell Trossard, right?
Yeah.
And hold on. Bring Rodgers in, right?
Yeah.
And keep Martinelli. So you're gonna be comfortable with if God forbid if Rodgers gets injured, we've got Martinelli.
Yeah, I'm not uncomfortable with Martinelli as a player. I think a lot of people underrate Martinelli, but that's a conversation for a different day, innit? No, I'm saying that's a conversation for a different day. But I'm telling you more as a man. No, but I'm saying that's 2026. Hey, the way you guys might analyze football is different to me. But I'm saying from a tactical point of view.
Let me ask them a question. Who's your highest goal scorer in the Champions League this season? Don't tell me 2026.
We are not buying. How many games do you play in the Champions League?
Yeah, but you said Trossard's not going to be playing many games because he's 32. So what if he only plays Champions League games?
Again, he didn't play many games. Hold on, listen to this.
Wait. You're saying he only played Champions League games? No,
but you man was saying that if Trossard signs a new deal, that he would only play limited amount of games. So basically, he might only play Champions League.
I'm not
going to let you guys do that. You know why? Here's the thing. He didn't play a lot of games, but when he did play, he gave his own contribution when he needed to give it to. When we played against City, and City could have beat us in that game. If not for his pace, we were not drawing that game. We're not winning the Premier League without Martinelli.
You man have to remember, when you're looking at, but I'm saying catch
hold on. Your whole thing
bro.
was taking steps forward,
Sorry,
taking big steps forward, and then you're telling me, we're relying on
Martinelli. But wait, cool. Let me answer. But catch, listen to this simply, innit? Yeah. Whether you rate Trossard more than Martinelli, like miles more than not, that's cool. That I'm not going to disagree with you there. The point I'm trying to say is, a functioning player that's still 24 and has athleticism is not as functional as a technical player who has no legs in the Premier League for a team that's going to be chased down. Like what I'm saying to you is that you will basically be asking whatever left winger you buy to not get injured and to carry, because you won't have any more support. And I'm saying most people will be like, oh, do you know what? We expected Trossard to kind of not be playing, but I'm saying, we've seen so many tales of this where players are like on that 30, 31, 32. They don't look like they're finished, and then all of a sudden, 2 months into the season, they're unplayable in this league. And I'm saying you don't want to be there because you want to get ahead of it. I'm saying there's less giveaway in having a wait. Hold on. I'm saying with Martinelli. No, but I'm saying with Martinelli isn't unplayable. That's the first thing. But with second thing,
if it's Champions League, cool. Premier League,
no. But I'm saying. But I'm saying,
catch
CORYY, you're forgetting one thing. You're forgetting one thing. You don't know, like similar things that we're talking about. Final Arsenal as a championship, maybe Champions League winning team. How the style changes, how the confidence changes for all of those players. First and foremost. Second of all, I'm saying there's more value in having the pacey Merchant and Martinelli both going forward, and the defensive work that he brings going back. The experience of him being our longest serving player in the team to have. Still at his age, than to have a Trossard that might regress. Because I think if you get to next season and you want to address that issue again, you sign a Rodgers or you sign whoever, I think there might be more pacey Merchant outlets out there to replace that profile. Because you have to remember, it's about building the profiles of the squad.
KP, let me just add to what KP is saying. The only reason we're saying Trossard I'm saying, let me not say KP is saying, the only reason why I'm saying Trossard should leave again is you do realize that we're playing a lot of football now. And for a 32-year-old, again, you have to understand.
Yeah, but bro, he's played 50 games. Trossard's played like 50 games.
Hold on, let me listen now. Let me listen. We saw it. Well, hold on. We saw it with Salah the season before. Massive output. 60 games. Liverpool. Salah, the man. Boom. Wins them the Premier League. Does all of that. The following season, because you're in your 30s, your legs are tired. This is not back in the day where you played only 40 games a season. What we're saying is there's a lot more pressure of games. Remember, there's national team responsibilities. These guys go for international games. You don't count those. I think you guys just look at the Premier League and the Champions League. You forget that in between, they're playing multiple other games. And at this age, it will take a lot on them. So for me, as a club, I'm like, this is the age profile I want to stay in. When you get to a certain age, unless you're a phenomenon like Ronaldo, like Messi, like all these guys, I'm not risking it with you at 31, 32. I'm bringing in fresh legs. I would rather have fresh legs that will listen to instructions from my manager and play in a profile position and win me games. We all hated how Arsenal played this season, but guess what? It was effective. The manager did the effective thing and won the league. I don't care how good you look or how bad you look. Bring in the player.
I agree with you, but I also feel like, obviously, Trossard is a player that's never really relied on pace, innit? So
I agree. He's not relied
on. And hold on quickly, yeah. In Salah's worst season, like this is we see Salah, and I'm not comparing Trossard. I'm just saying, like this is a guy that we're saying has fell off. Bro, he played 27 games and he got 14 GA, 7 goals, 7 assists.
Yeah, but that was unaffected.
That's not like Martinelli has got me one goal.
Wait. Dayo, I'll rebuttal that. The reason why those stats are irrelevant.
And look how bad. And look how
wait. Do you know why those stats are irrelevant? Because Liverpool done absolutely nothing that we will accept next season. So the fact that you're quoting those numbers as a reference.
Hold on, but let me also say this.
But if we're talking about,
listen, we won the league. Martinelli has got us 1 goal in this season.
Okay, so if we win, but if we win the Champions League tomorrow, then I will come on the next show saying, "Oh, he won us the Champions League." Then.
So hold on.
So we're talking about you're in a title-winning team.
So wait. Catch. If we win the Champions League tomorrow, if we win the Champions League on Saturday, can I come on the show next time and say Martinelli won us the Champions League because he scored the goals? Would you say it's valid argument then? Would you say that then? Would you say yes or no? No, would you say yes or no then? Because that's
because we know he's not that guy. Like,
but then that doesn't. That's what I'm saying. So then football is not just into the numbers, right?
Look at it and go, yeah, cool, valid. He won them, or he played a.
Yeah, but we can pinch numbers.
Ain't that guy, bro.
Yeah, but we can. Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is that when you're building a squad for the future, when you're trying to dominate and go again and do a back to back, and that you have to think about. You have to think about.
Sorry, KP.
I want to say this. I want to say this real quick before you go. Please, sorry. I just want to say this. I like the fact that you brought up what's his name? Salah's numbers. Salah's numbers. You need to understand that Salah is a far more exceptional player.
And that's
hold on. Salah has been is a far more consistent, better player by far than Trossard. My point is Trossard is not going to give you. If Trossard is giving me 6 goals at 31, and you're asking me to keep him for another season. Maybe he might give me 4 goals.
No. And they weren't just 6 any goals. Look how many times Trossard's coming clutch for us this season. Don't do that. There's a difference to just scoring any goals and then scoring clutch.
Catch. I'm not saying he hasn't come clutch. Don't do this. Let's stay on the conversation of the age. We're not talking about your output.
It's all about age, bro. It's nothing about age.
No, bro. Because this is I was really about to go on to.
This is not about talent.
I was really about to go on to with the whole age thing, yeah. Because KP, when you were talking about building like a squad for the future, bro, the squad is still very young. I remember I literally seen it like the other day, bro. When you do like the average age for our squad is, bro, it's like 25. Like there's like it's still very.
You know why it's 25? You know what the average is? You know why it's 25? Because we have Norgard. We have Trossard, and we have Marino. Those 3 ages take it to 25. Any one of those players leave, like those 30, 31, 32-year-old players. I'm not saying they're not good. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about building a dynasty that just keeps going and rolling and rolling. That's all I'm saying.
You guys don't realize, it's not just about
Trossard. I love Trossard. Trossard is my guy. Left, right, center. Trossard
all right, cool. Cool. Let's just answer this question before we go, yeah. It's this one.
It's not about
big up Olu. He's saying, would you rather have both Barcola and Trossard left wing or Rodgers and Martinelli? Which one would you prefer?
I'm going.
Rodgers and Martinelli.
Whoa, it's the Rodgers that messes. Hey,
Rodgers and Martinelli still.
Again, I would now. This is where I would change. If I'm bringing in Barcola for Martinelli, then fair enough. Then I'll keep Trossard for that 1 season. He has 1 more year.
That's my point. That's what I said. I was saying, get Barcola, but have the Trossard there. He's clinical.
Listen, but guess what, Catch? He only has 1 more year on his contract. I'm not going to renew it after that. Now I have to go back next summer and look for somebody again.
And you have to let Trossard go. And imagine Trossard has a mad. Imagine he has a mad season next season, and you have to let him go for free because you're not going to give him another
replacement. And how am I sure Rodgers will be available in that next window?
And my point is, let's answer the question. We're getting into another whole.
I'll take Martinelli. I'll take Martinelli and Rodgers.
One by one.
I'll take Martinelli and Rodgers still.
Yeah, Martinelli and Rodgers. Yeah, I think I changed my Martinelli and Rodgers.
CORYY, I'm taking Barcola and Trossard, bro.
I'm taking Barcola.
I'm going Barcola and Trossard because for
Barcola is still a question mark. Still,
yes, definitely is. But then my safe net is Trossard.
Exactly.
Rodgers, hold on. Rodgers is a question mark at Arsenal. Your safe net is Martinelli.
Yeah, but the difference.
When you look at it, we've seen Barcola play in the big games as well. We've not seen Rodgers do that.
No, I know, but I'm saying we have seen Mane play in big games. But I'm not even going to get into that point yet. But my whole point is just this, innit? Like, I would rather risk next season not having Trossard lose his legs and you can't really use him.
No, but you know what it is? Do you know what it is for me? Like, the reason why I would have Barcola and Trossard, is the fact that, yes, man are saying that it's unknown with Barcola, yeah. But for me, I think like the creative aspect of having Barcola, who can go 1v1, who can play against people in a low block. He's more of a player in a mode of a 1v1, he's more 1v1 than Martinelli. Martinelli, you deny him space, he can't really do as much.
I think they're more similar profiles too.
No. Nah. KP, I'm saying similar in a fact where in front of goal, Barcola's not the greatest. Don't get it wrong. Like, I think.
Would you argue Martinelli's better in front of goal?
Definitely.
Yeah, Martinelli is better in front of goal, 100%. However, KP, the reason why Martinelli isn't as effective in the Premier League is because he's denied space. He's denied space in the Champions League. A lot more teams. Obviously, everyone wants to win. Everyone wants points. No one really plays for draws, innit? Do you get what I'm saying to you? So Martinelli's going to thrive in the Champions League more than he was thriving in the Premier League. So I'm saying to you, Barcola he's pretty much similar to like Noni, if that makes sense. But he's just got better end products. Do you get what I'm saying? He's going to create a little bit more. Do you get what I'm saying?
But the whole point of I want a Barcola as well, yeah. But I would rather do it in the order of get a Rodgers and then move Martinelli on next year, because I think Barcola probably won't leave PSG, than to try and maybe not replace Trossard at this critical time, and then you have to only rely on Barcola, fresh season in. There's no experience, because I think with all your points in it, we'll catch and CORYY, you know, you might not rate Martinelli as much, but he's still a tried and tested player. This team still understanding.
I don't disrespect Martinelli. I think
not you. I'm saying with Catch and obviously CORYY. I'm not going to say that he's doing so much, but I'm saying I would be way more comfortable knowing what Martinelli can give me in this team, especially if this team is way more flowing and confident than unknown, because I know what he gives us within the system. There's no adapting to new players, new league, all that stuff in it, and I think there's less risk in us not dropping a level down in terms of trying to go for 4 trophies next season. I think once you get to next year, if you then want to sell Martinelli, if that's probably you would. I think there's a lot of speed and touchline wingers that you can bring in, maybe at a higher level that will be better. But then if Rodgers is available now, he's definitely going this summer either way. Like if you don't go Arsenal, he's going somewhere else. So it's one of them ones where it's not just about the timing of losing these players, it's about the replacements might not be available when you want them because other teams have got them. And you have to think about it like that. It's a tough thing managing teams like this, but you have to think, why do teams like City maintain winning 7 of 9 or 7 of 10? Because they were chopping and changing players at the right times and letting guys go, because you have to be smart. It's not an emotional thing, and sometimes you have to be ahead of the curve more than just things like Martinelli might not give us the quality if he's injured, but we know that he gives us a level of reliability.
I like Martinelli. I don't think Martinelli's crap.
Yeah, I love Martinelli a lot, but I think
you give him space, like he will kill you, bro.
He'll kill, and I think he can finish. He's a very good finisher. He does miss chances that maybe should score, but he also does score.
If we change up the way we play, which I think we will, and we'll be more like fluid, cool. But if we stay the same,
I think we'll see more of a balance between the way we play. And I also think, and I think you, man, come on, man, these men winning now. Don't you think the pressure off their shoulders now might make them play better?
Bro,
I also feel like
he's been the longest serving player in this team, you know.
I also feel like we don't need wholesale changes, though, man.
Yeah, we don't. We like this summer, like our shit should be like tinkering. Like we don't need crazy wholesale changes with it, bro.
But yeah, like see, when people say this, that don't even make sense because he spanked bare goals in a goal.
Yeah, you lagged there, but yeah, let's wrap up. Yo, people, it's been a cold one. I big up everyone that's been on the panel, man. It's been a lit show. Don't go anywhere either, cause we want to raid someone. Cape, let them know where they could find you, my bro.
Wait, hold on. What's it called? Sorry, Cape. Wait, Cat, are we not doing predictions?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm going mad. Quickly.
Hey,
Sorry.
We went through too much today. We completely forgot about predictions.
This is why I ain't the host.
This is why CORYY's Trossard, isn't it? It's clutch still. It's clutch.
Come
on, bro.
What we saying?
You might as well go CORYY then. You might as well go for first.
I'll go
chat,
first.
Get involved as well. Get involved, chat.
1-0 Arsenal. Gabriel header, back post.
I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Marino header off the bench.
Wow, with these Deans, bro.
I know that little header celly that he does, yeah. Hey, that's what I mean.
Dio, what's your score prediction? He's not there. Hey, Cats, what's your score prediction, bro?
I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. Saka and Gabriel to score. Set piece, we're winning it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 as well, man. I think it's gonna be won by 1 goal. I don't think it's gonna be a mad goal fest. I can see 1 goal winning it. All scorer, I'm gonna say Havertz, and I'm gonna say Gabriel. You know, Gabriel, one of the defenders, and I can see Havertz winning something, man, getting something to take away. But yeah, man, I big up, man. I lit stream. CORYY, let the people them know where they can find you, my boy.
Yeah, man. CORYY AFC 2 Ys on YouTube, on Twitter as well. I'm about a Morgan Rodgers video coming out as well later today, so make sure you might check that out as well. Big up SB, big up Catch every time for letting man on. Hey, yo, come on, man, Saturday. Bro, it's after, the finals after my birthday. My birthday's tomorrow as well, and the finals the day after.
Oh, swear
Happy
down.
birthday,
Hopefully we can get you a good birthday present, man.
I'm saying, man. Yo.
I big up CORYY every single time. Hey, KP, let the man them know where they can find you, man.
As you guys know, KAPES pause our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Go subscribe. I already just dropped a video talking about Morgan Rodgers and CORYY just before this, so go check that out. And yeah, man, we're gonna win the final. So guys, man, just enjoy Sunday if you're there at the parade, and hey, man, get the vibes going.
Come on, bro.
Hey, people as well. Hey, we're doing a watch along for this one, people. Yeah, we're gonna have a couple special. Yeah, we're gonna have a mad watch along. So make sure you tune into that as well.
Yeah, it should be lit, man. Yeah, man, people, make sure we tune into that. Catch us there. If when you see us at the parade, hopefully we got that Champions League trophy with us, man. Big up everyone, man. By the way, also go and show some love to Hotspur Hood. That's where we're sending you over to. Make sure he looks at oranges in the chat. Show them some love, even if you're not gonna stay over there. Just show them that you came from the catch up, and that you show them some love. Yeah, people, make sure we do them. Yeah, love.
It's been a cold one. We're out. Hey, big up all the mods, them. Yeah. Hey, drink your water. Drink your Rascal water. Yeah.